Good evening, everyone. Welcome to FPRL Fair Play Racing League. Tonight we see Tier 2 take on the 3-mile circuit of Imola. It's surely going to be a good race around a good classic track that everyone loves and enjoys. We'll see if these drivers are going to love and enjoy it though in quali, because as we can see, it's absolutely pouring it with rain. And once again tonight, as we've just got the 15 drivers, it's another short quali, which does mean that there's only going to be one session for these guys to put in their best lap. 17 minutes of quali coming up for you, and like I said, only one chance for these guys to put in their best laps and get themselves as far up that grid as possible for the race, which will be starting in around 20 minutes time. I'm co-comms tonight for you, Monkey Boy Kurt, and on the stream tonight and on your main comms once again, 2 weeks in a row, it's FPRL Locker.
Hello. Thank you for doing that, my friend. How are we this evening?
Yeah, not too bad, mate. I'm once again looking forward to the quali now. I think it's been 2 weeks in a row, isn't it? Where we've had wet quali, I think, in Tier 2.
Yeah, it was intermediate. It was only intermediate so last week. So this is full wet. So it'll be interesting to see what the drivers can do. And again, I think it's is it the first wet race we've had this week for all 3 tiers?
We had a bit of wet quali, I believe, in Tier 3, but the race I think was dry, if I'm not mistaken. So
yes, we did.
I think it was Q1. I think in Tier 3 it was wet, but not as wet as full wets. I'm pretty sure, like I always say, no one really practices in the wet conditions. So we're most likely going to see some slower lap transfers as we get towards the last sort of 2 or 3 minutes of the session. You still start to see times coming down and people getting faster once they're getting used to the track.
Yeah, 100% for me. I should have remembered that it was wet in Q1 on Wednesday, Tier 3. Well, I forgot that, but hey ho, here we go. The first car that looks like it's going to take us on a lap is Rise. I just think it's Rise. I don't know how you pronounce his name. Rise in the horse is going to be the first one to take us on a lap. I don't know if you want to take us around the first line after the session, my friend.
Yeah, no worries, Locker. And he gets very loose to the back end as he comes out of the final corner. The right then starts off proceedings in this wet quali down the main straight. Coming up to turn 1, now breaking around 100 metre board in these wet conditions, and it's already gone wide, and I'm not sure if he's going to back out, and we can already see how difficult these conditions are. Will he carry on? It looks like he's going to, but he has got multiple cars behind him who are also on hot laps. Comes to the end of sector 1, and it is a slow 29.6 through the first sector. I believe we've also got a car, I think it's Pines, that has spun off behind as well. As we come now through the start of sector 2 up the hill towards his fast left-hander, and yeah, they are really struggling out here. They're going to definitely have to start getting used to the conditions. They've only got about 12 or 13 minutes now to do so. As we come now to the end of sector 2, Rise is just losing the back end all the time, so really got to get used to those revs. It's a 101 through sector 2. And now down towards the end part of a lap now, we come down the hill towards the last 3 turns on the track. And now we've got this double left-hander coming up wide again, and you can certainly go faster than what he's put in this lap. He comes across the line, and it's going to be a 130, I think 130.7. That's surely going to be beaten there by people behind him. Yet Cross Kerry goes with a 28.9 and Yorkie with a 30.2.
Yeah, like you say, going through that lap then, he was a bit off it. I know Reese is more capable than that. And Zella comes across the line now with a 29.2 to put himself provisionally P2. Obviously we've got going to have laps flying in all sorts. Who's the next person on the lap? Tiddlewink jumps just in front of his teammate with well, I say just in front of his teammate, nearly second quicker than his teammate, goes third with a 29.2.
Yeah, not too bad lap from him. Also, TJ comes through with a 29.7. Cross Kerry then in the early stages, setting the fastest time into the 28s. I would expect to see a lot more people though start to get around that or even beat that. Jimmy Vane also comes across the line with a 29.8, and I think now we've got Silverside Boy coming towards the line. Let's see what he can produce. What he produces the fastest time of the session so far, the 28.7. So good lap there from Silverside Boy.
If you just give me 2 seconds, I've just got to sort my game sounds out and whatnot. So
Okay.
I do apologise, folks. You'll see all the menus I'm in. Shouldn't be too long though.
Right, so a few more drivers coming across the line now. I think we've got, Zilla coming around the final corner. Is he going to go out for another lap? I believe he is, and he's up on this lap. This could take the first place off Silverside Boy for now.
And he does.
28.4, so already now, yeah, you can definitely see that some of these drivers are starting now to get used to the conditions.
Absolutely. Who else we got? And then Tiddlywink, who's across the line again with 28.4, but slightly faster than Zilla by around about, I'd say about half a tenth, give or take.
And
Maths ain't the best.
Sergeant's in the chat saying I might just not qualify. I think that's a little bit being a bit of a wimp, to be honest. Just get out there and give it your best shot. Like what? You know, you could put in a flying lap and go P1.
Could, or he could have like, I'm not saying it's going to happen, but he could have 14 people in front of him all crash.
Yeah, it could potentially.
You never know. Anything can happen, my friends. So get yourself out there and get us a lap on the board.
Here comes a driver that hasn't raced at all this season. It's TPA Group. Let's see what he can do. He goes P7 for now, with 29.5. That's not too bad from him. He hopefully will be looking to improve on that once he gets a bit of feeling for the track. But yeah, good first time from him.
Yeah, good little sighter for him. Just over a second off. No, but like you said, people will still be getting used to these wet conditions, full wet as well, not just intermediates. But Zillow coming across the line, he looks like he was on a cool down there. Stiff Master just does improve his time slightly, but just jumps up to the P10 with a 129.9.
Yeah, now I mean, looking at like the normal strategy for obviously the wet conditions is to kind of put a bit more fuel in the car and just leave the car out there for about a good 4 or 5 laps, and that allows you to get used to the conditions, used to the track. It does mean also you're not putting the accelerator down as much as you would normally on a dry lap, so you don't normally tend to drain your ERS as much as well.
No, that is facts, yeah. Obviously people will still be wary. Have we got anybody on the lap?
I think Pines is coming round.
Pines, here he is, my friend. Just coming through the final sector now. But yeah, like you were saying, with these wet conditions, obviously people will want not to put the throttle down as fast as they maybe normally would in the dry conditions, so you won't get a feel for the track. Save up a bit more ERS, and Pines does come across the line. It is the first driver within the 127s with a 127.8, and I think Zill just come across the line as well, does improve to a 28.1.
Yeah, Pines, what a lap that is for him. And I have to say that I have seen on the time trial leaderboards that he is the quickest tier 2 on the list, so it looks like he definitely loves this track, both in the wet and the dry. But we know what he's feeling like for in the race, so we just need to put all that past bad luck behind him, and at the moment he's on for pole position.
Yeah, it is. Like I said, that was his first flying lap as well. 27.8. Right, put the marker down for everybody to keep up. And yeah, he's a very quick driver, very consistent, consistent or quick. That's the word I'm looking for, but I don't. Or it might be both. Who knows?
Well, I know for a fact that he's definitely got quality pace in him, but it's whether or not he can do that in the race. And he hasn't. He's got the odd win in FPRL before, but he would have liked to have some more. But with times like that, if it's a wet race, he might be looking on for potentially another one today. So we've just then got, and here we go. He goes quicker now. 27.6.
Absolutely phenomenal.
So he's just then got the Alpine Duo tonight, midfield maestro, and filling in for twins tonight is Sergeant Ranoff, who is coming around now the final corner. Oh no, sorry, that's midfield maestro. Just going across now, must have been validated. Sergeant.
Yeah, sorry.
Go for it.
Does come around the final corner now. Hold down. Doesn't look like a lap that will be challenging up to the top, but he does go P3 with the 28.3.
Well,
there you
go then. He was gonna stay in the pits, and but he's glad that he didn't now, because P3 at the moment is a lot better than P15.
Yeah, absolutely. We've got yellows in sector 1. Looks like Ball is just getting off the track to let a few people past. Got Alpha Tauri coming across the line. I think that was LWS Yorkie. Goes P8 with a 28.8.
Yeah, now, interesting enough, I might be wrong here. I'll probably find out a bit more in the next 3 minutes or so. But everyone just seeming to use the one set of tyres at the moment for their laps. You see Cross Kerry go second on 6-lap-old wets with a 27.8. I know we get 2 sets of wets for the race weekend, so this potentially could mean that we're going to possibly have some wet weather in the race, but obviously we've still got 5 minutes to go. We might see people change to a fresh set in the next couple of minutes or so.
Yeah, I think you're spot on there. Obviously with the 2 sets of wets that we do get in the race weekend, whether people are just try and drain with that one set of tyres, try and stay out as much as we possibly can on the same set, and then just do one or two flying runs at the end on a fresh set, who knows. But yeah, could potentially be a wet start to the race as well. That's maybe why they're doing it, but like we said, who knows, we never know. We'll just get a big surprise when you load into the lobby after quali.
Yeah, and it's worth telling the viewers as well that because of the recent issues with the formation lap in this game, that we aren't running a formation lap tonight. So I beg that no one readies up early, because if anyone's not at their controller or wheel, then they're going to be sitting ducks on the grid.
Yeah, and they have been reminded, they've had announcements that there's no formation lap, and they've also been reminded as the lobby opened from our lobby host as well, so if anybody does, then they'll be in trouble.
Yeah. So, then sort of almost a bit of a gap from the bottom 3, it looks like. Rise could potentially get a bit quicker as well. TPA Group 29.5, 3/10 off Rise, and then Stiffmeister and TJ down at the bottom. Now TJ normally, I know on last season's game he loved this track. It might just be the wet conditions that he's not enjoying at the moment, but there is always still time to improve as he now comes on to his 5th flying lap, I think, on this set of tyres.
TJ, I've got no laps on the graphic, so it looks
like
a fresh set of tyres, yeah.
Let me change it up. Oh, that's because I was on best.
You were on Zilla. Oh no.
So the whole time I've been on best and not tyre. So ignore what I said 2 minutes ago about everyone's not on fresh tyres, because literally the whole field is now on fresh tyres.
Oh dear. Ooh. Yeah, but like you said, just going back to what you just touched on with TJ there, obviously the last season specifically, he did really love this track. It must be a good track that he likes, but whether it is a mix of the wet conditions, as obviously me and you know, the other people won't know, he has had a little bit of a break away this week. So it could be just that little bit less practice than he might normally do, potentially.
Yeah,
We know he's
potentially.
definitely capable of not being the last on the grid, as he just does go up into P8 with a 28.7.
Yeah, 28.7 for TJ. Good lap there from him. He's still got probably enough for, I'd say, one more lap, maybe a rundown lap, and then one more flying lap. Everyone's now at the pits apart from Zilla, who I think is now just crawling out now. It's it's going to be definitely an exciting end to the session, and wonder if anyone can surprise us from really any position. Really, Stiffmeister goes up to 11th, improves a little bit, not seeming to enjoy the conditions at the moment with Stiffmeister. I would have expected him to be a bit further up.
Yeah, he has got a bit of pace behind him. We've got Rise just coming across the line now. Jumps up just in front of TJ again with the 28.7. We're sort of around that midfield pack between at least Silverside Boy at the minute and down to Bawley. Are pretty close, sort of within the sort of 10th of each other, or just above.
Yeah, that's it. And TJ coming around again now is another 2 tenths up, so we'll see where he puts this. It could potentially put him up into 6th place here if he gets a good run out of the last corner. As he comes across the line now, it's looking a bit quicker. And it does put him up into P7, so another couple of places gained there from TJ.
Yeah. We got a McLaren coming across the line now with Silverside Boy, who... Wow.
There's an answer for Pines. That's a great lap from Silverside Boy.
Yeah, I think that's Silverside Boy saying, you know what, Pines, here's what I can do. Your hand, mate.
Yeah,
no, that's a phenomenal lap from Silverside Boy.
His Stiffmeister then goes up into 9th. Yorkie, I think, then validated that he will go around again one more time. Rise is now going around the final corner, and he's 8 tenths up. This could potentially put him up to around 5th position. It's even better. He goes 2nd. What a lap that is.
That is an impressive lap. Fearful final sector as well, but as we both know, don't know what the game's throwing out there. We just first personal best. As Tiddlewink comes across the line with a 27.2, and then Cross Creek goes even faster.
Well, this is either a drying track or they're just getting used to the conditions. Pines. This is anyone's pole position. Sargent goes up to 2nd with a 27.1. Phenom, I think. I know it's Aston Martin's TJ. He's 4 tenths down, unfortunately, so he will not improve.
Next, looks like an Alpine Linfield Maestro. He's down. Silverside Boy looks like he's going to be the next one across the line.
Coming the pits, he's down.
Juno Vane.
9 tenths up.
Oh! Tell you what, this is a cracking end to quality.
It's P8.
Yeah, Aston Martin, that should be Zilla. He invalidated.
Unfortunately, Lee went coming across. Oh no, so it's Yorkie coming across the line now.
On the P9 for Yorkie. We've got Prospery. No, it's not. Where is it? Stiffmeister who went into the pits. We've got Haas next. In the pits. McLaren.
Yeah, might be the end of it. I don't know. Cross Carrier's coming across the line. So is Sargent. So is Pines. I think it's out of these 3 now. Who's going to take it? Cross Carrier, no, he's down. Pines comes across the line. This looks quick. Oh, what a time! What a time that is. 26.1. Where has that come from? What a time!
Wow. Just wow.
But literally, that is. Let me just get the gap up. That's like 7 tenths quicker than anyone else.
Yeah,
it's just come out of nowhere. I do think the track might have been slightly drying out the end there because everyone was improving. Like we said, what an end once again to the quali. But yeah, IFC
Absolutely phenomenal.
Pines. What a time! And he's just left the
Oh,
session. Brilliant.
get him back in quickly, my friend.
Well, he needs to
As
come
I'll
back,
run.
and we haven't got a formation lap.
Oh, that is true. Yeah. As I'll quickly run down the ordered grid. So, like we've just said, Pines on pole with a fantastic lap of a 126.1. Joining him in the 126s, we've got Sergeant Rannoff in P2 in his Alpine, Groskery P3, Tillowink P4, Phenom P5, Gary P6, Rise 7, Junior Vane 8, and then I forgot about the rest because it went off.
Right. Well, what a lap that was from Pines. I don't know if he's come back in, and I've sent him an invite. But, I just pray that he's seen it. But, let's see if we can get him back in. Hopefully he will. He's not back in yet, which is not good.
Pole setter as well.
Well, dry race it looks like, Locker.
Good stuff. Although the clouds do look a bit.
We have a look in the chat while we're waiting then. Kellywink says that the track started to dry towards the end. Could have gone out on another run. Tricks and fraud we've got in the chat. Get this man to tier 1 immediately. Sergeant ran off saying I couldn't do a sub 30 in practice. Well, you must have took the sandbags out then because you were kind of 26.8. Oh, Pines' Xbox turned off. So hopefully he gets back in before the start. I have sent you 2 invites, mate. So please try and get in. No one ready up, obviously.
Please don't.
Adrian's entered the chat. Nice to see that you're in the chat but not racing. Fraud.
Fraud.
Adrian says to David, I hope your vape runs out of puffs.
Well, that's a bit rude.
Right.
It's actually run out of battery, Adrian, not puffs.
Yeah. It's because he's bloody like 16 in it. He's on his bloody elf bars. That's why.
I've just had a look what David's put in the chat back.
Adrian, I hope your lungs run out of puffs. That was David saying that, not me. Bit harsh from league management, but it's alright. Right. As we are still waiting to go, if anyone is wanting to know the standings, a certain driver is not here tonight in Mr. Snedden, and he is the championship leader, so he is really sacrificing his lead potentially, because Ravenzilla, who only qualified 11th, she's going to be a bit of a bad quali, wouldn't have wanted to be there, would have wanted to be a bit higher. He is 2 points behind him, so he'll be hoping to get up from 11th position on the grid to have a good finish and take the lead of that championship. TJ 10 points behind them, behind Zilla, his teammate. So the Aston Martin's having a good start to the season, as well as another Aston Martin driver on Wednesday night. Jammy, you jammy bastard, but we'll say no more on that.
Right place, right time. I'll keep saying it.
But yeah, Midfield Maestro was actually the early leader of the championship after 2 races, but didn't have the best one in Australia. I think he's dropped down to about 4th or 5th in the standings. He starts 13th, so he'll also be wanting to have a good race from that position to try and get as many points as possible and keep himself in contention at the front of the standings. Interesting. Sorry, Luca, go on.
I was going to say, I just think it's just a case now we're just currently waiting on to see if Pines does manage to get himself back in.
Has joined. I've seen him join. It's just a case of him loading in now, I think.
Brilliant. Lovely.
So I think that's probably why TJ might be holding off a little bit. just so he can get in. I would have thought that he'd be probably in by now.
Yeah. I mean, what I was going to say then is just going back to where you've just been running down the standings. I've just got them up on my phone as the clock is running down. Potentially, like you say, with Snedden not racing tonight, it is a good potential shot for Revenge Imola to possibly take the championship lead tonight. I think there's only 3 drivers behind him who are within a race win of Snedden.
Yeah, that's it. Well, there is going to be no formation up. We're going to go straight away. So,
oh yes,
lights are going to come on now. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. And the lights go, and we're away. And Pines gets a good start. Sargent does not get a good start, and Crossberry has already jumped into turn 1.
So is Tiddlywink.
Oh, someone's off at the back. Bawley is off towards the back, and is there going to be any contact this time around? I think everyone's getting through okay that first corner, Locker.
They have, yeah. As they do go, as Sargent's right on the back of Tiddlywink still, just in between the both of the Alpha Tauris. And yeah, Pines looks already looks like he's going. He's not waiting around for nobody, he's going already. He's already without a DRS range. I know it's not active yet, but...
Well, I'll tell you what, fantastic start from Pines. A yellow flag is out. TJ has think's gone a little bit off. But, yeah, that's how you take the first corner at Imola, Tier 3 and Tier 1. Everyone gets through fine, and no one is out of the race on lap 1. So, yeah, good start from the Tier 2s.
Yeah, very good start. Nobody out. They all look like sort of all bunched up. I think the biggest gap I can see is around about 1.3 seconds in the midfield. But other than that, yeah, very good opening lap from the Tier 2 drivers.
Yeah, looking like TPA Groot has had the best start along with Yorkie. They've both gained 4 positions, and Jimmy Vane is the worst one out of a lot. He's dropped 4 from the start, from 8th down to 12th. There's a little bit of battling going on towards the mid-pack, midfield Maestro and Rise having a battle now, down towards turn 4.
Yeah, Rise does pull out of that one. Quite sensible there, to be honest. Yorkie and Sargent are having a little ding dong. Well, I've just noticed they've swapped positions a couple of times.
Yeah, so I'm just looking at the tyre graphic here, Locker. There seems to be very varied strategies going on. You've got the front 3 on mediums, and you've got 4th and 5th on soft. You've got 7th, 8th and 10th on hards. And there's basically, looks about around, there's 3 drivers on hards. I think you've got 5 on softs, and around 7 on medium. So very varied bunch of strategies going on. Pines still leads by 7 tenths, but Cross Kerry now will get the DRS as it is lap 3.
Yeah, so he's sort of reined in that gap by a couple of attempts here and there. Hopefully he'll just want to keep it within that DRS range, but he has got Tiddlywink pretty much right up his gearbox as well. So it's going to be interesting to see what these top 3 can muster. I'd say the top 5, they've got a little bit of a gap. As if you bear with me, me controls have just flashed up saying I'm low on battery, so just give me 1 second. I won't pause it or anything.
No, go for it, mate. That's fine. Tiddlywink just had a spin, and well, I say a spin, a half spin. It took him down now to 4th. Sargent running off, does take that 3rd position off him now on the soft tyre, but sitting there, back there in 7th is Phenom on the hard compound tyre. Now become the end of the race. Obviously there's no safety cars to affect things. As I say that, someone is off at the back, and Rise just took a spin down at the chicane, and he's down to 15th, last place now. But Pines has now broken the DRS. So that is very interesting. As I say that, Koshkari must have got a good run out of that last corner, or he's on that ERS a lot, because it's now back down to 8 tenths. Looking at the moment like a very interesting start to the race. So Sergeant Randolph and Tiddlywink are now both battling as well for third position, and his teammate Yorkie is now getting involved as well.
Didn't miss much.
Too much, mate, not too much.
As you say, I did keep on Sergeant, so they were all battling.
We've been requested to drink from Adrian.
Both of us, not a problem, my Irish friend.
And the Alpha Tauri boys getting very close to one another. That's the last thing they want to do, is take each other both out.
Yeah, I think I was on board with Tiddlywink then. As you said that, yeah, I think that Tiddlywink did get a little bit messy on that little uphill right. Sort of like a mini chicane, not a mini chicane. Sort of right, then immediate little left.
Yeah, looks like and we've got a little battle towards the back actually for P14. TPA Group and Rise having a battle with each other as TPA Group goes a bit wide and gets overtaken by Rise. Doesn't seem to be finding the pace on these soft tyres at the moment. It seems to be a bit struggling out there.
Yeah, I mean, 4 laps in. Oh, and I was just about to say that, sorry, I caught in the background there as I jumped with Sergeant. Yorkie gets past his teammate up into P4. Whether that was a little bit of team orders to let Yorkie through while he is on those softs, who knows? But yeah, Yorkie now up into P4 and hunting down Reginov, yeah.
Yeah, potentially could have been some team orders there, but it does look like Tiddlywink is sliding about a lot, and now Silverside Boy has took the advantage and got past him into 5th position. It's almost like Tiddlywink's not really got the grip in those tyres. Maybe he's running them a bit hot and they're a bit slippery. Phenom unfortunately gets a 3-second penalty, and now the lead driver on those hard tyres is Revenzilla.
Yeah, and of course, like you just said, obviously there's a couple of people in front of Zilla who are currently on the softs that will probably need pits within the next, what would you say, around about 3-4 laps maybe. And then of course he's got the 4 guys in front of him as well on the mediums, as Tiddlywink does make a move down the outside, in fact, round turn 1 of Silverside Boy, and does take that P5 back momentarily.
Yeah, and a bit further back, Phenom is still battling with Zilla, and he's all over the back of him. Obviously, Zilla has no DRS, he's 3 seconds off the pack in front of him, so Phenom will try and fight back now to get back that 7th place.
Just jump on board with this little battle. I mean, it's good to see there is quite a few battles through the grid, and I do like these races when I'm doing commentary where you don't know where to watch, essentially, as Tiddlywink unfortunately picks up a 3-second time penalty. And he's actually he's there or thereabouts on the back of his teammate within that DRS as well.
Yeah, well, Pines is looking strong here. 2.7 is now the advantage. He's really bridged that gap to Crosskerry. They come on to lap 7 of this race then. And those mediums can probably go, I would say, around to about maybe 16, 17 if you wanted to push them out. But whether you get, obviously, you wouldn't get a set of softs to go that far, so it most likely is going to be without safety cars. A medium hard strategy for these 2 in front, as Yorkie now has made a move on Raninoff.
Yeah, and just as you were saying there as well, I was on board with the Zilla Phenom fight, and Phenom does get himself up into P7 in front of Zilla, and that puts Phenom in the lead, well, at least of the hard runners.
Or a bit of a battle further back midfield. Maestro Junu Vane side by side coming up the hill, and Borley has retired. Will that be a safety car, I'm wondering? And it is.
It is.
Yeah, he's gone off. I think it's a turn 5 where he's clearly just got on the curb, and it's obviously spun him into that left-hand side wall. First safety car of the day, and your Pines, do you come in? I think you do, to be honest.
I think, if I can remember rightly, sort of around this point, we had a safety car on Wednesday in the Tier 3 race, and I started on the mediums, and I still didn't come in. I sort of wanted to keep to my strategy, and he does come out on a set of fresh odds. Should go to the end on them. Because now what this has done is actually enabled Silverside Boy, who stayed out on his mediums in fact, I think he's the only one to do so, and he's inherited the lead like he did last week.
Well, yeah, exactly. This is what Silverside Boy did last week. He was the only driver to stay out on his medium tyres. It then, with the way the race panned out, if it wasn't for a post-race penalty, that would have been his race win. But he's doing the same again this week, staying out on the 7-lap old mediums, and behind him you've got the three original hard runners at the start of the race, Phenom, Zilla and Rise, that now take second to fourth. Hines comes out in fifth on those hards, and to be honest, I think you should be able to stick those hards out 23 laps by the time the safety car comes in. But it all depends on if there's any more safety cars, obviously.
Yeah, and then like you said, you've got them couple of people, Rat Pines and Crossbury, 5th and 6th on the fresh odds, and then just behind them you've got Yorkie and Rajanoff, who have actually come out on the mediums. Now, interestingly enough, do you think they will need to stop again?
Yeah,
I think they will. Sort of.
I went out quite early yesterday, so I was watching the race as it unfolded in Tier 1, and Fungus got quite lucky with the safety car, otherwise he would have been taking mediums 25 laps, and I don't think they're going to get that far. So those guys are going to be hoping for at least another safety car, because they will have to pit again. Just going to do a little shout out in the chat to Apparent First Man. Apparently he has met one of the guys in the social lobby earlier, and he's looking forward to getting involved in the league. Hope you're enjoying the race so far. And yeah, hopefully see you in the recruitment server and the main server soon, and racing with us in the near future. Always good to see new drivers joining the league.
Yeah, absolutely fantastic. Yeah, like you say, if he's met somebody maybe randomly in an open lobby and he's tuned in tonight to watch the race, then yeah, fingers crossed he gets in sooner rather than later.
Yep, that's it now, Locker. I'm gonna ask you for your bets. I was gonna say, if you had to choose someone right now, who are you going for?
It's too me.
I can do this to you. That's why I'm doing it.
Oh, that's horrible. To be honest, I can't look past anybody but this young man who I've got on the camera here, Pines. Sitting P5 at the moment, fresh, hard. Everybody in front of him has to pit. Yeah, I can't see anybody other than Pines winning this race. I reckon it will be close with Crossbury behind him, this young man. But I really don't think anybody but Pines is winning this race, unfortunately. Probably wrong, because 9 times out of 10 am. But, you know, so we've got the safety car coming in this lap, and Silverside Boy does take control of the grid for us.
He does indeed, and yeah, I have to say, if there is another safety car, I reckon you have to look at the front 4 right now, because they'll basically be able to get 3 pit stop. Pines has left the station!
Oh no!
Oh.
Before the safety car restarts as well, if you want to get him in quick as possibly can, buddy,
yeah,
please.
I will get him in. Oh, Pines, you and your dodgy internet.
And that's now sadly cost him, as Crossbury has actually got past. Oh, little bit. Oh, Phenom's out.
Oh,
out.
There's a absolute pile up. Jesus.
Oh my good God. And now Pines, because he's NAI, is just sat behind the retired car of Juno Vane if you go on board with him.
John, that is a massive curse there. Rise has now left the session as well. Come on, guys, bloody hell. Let's get Rising.
Well, that reminded me of a similar incident after on Wednesday. Anyway, jumping back to the front, got Silla on his 9-lap hards, right on the back of Silverside Boy on his 9-lap old mediums, battling away for the lead, and these pair are currently 3 seconds in front of the next leading pack.
Yeah, well, clearly what's happened, Phenom took a spin and those two have just managed to get through them. And here comes Zilla on Silverside Boy. Now these
Here
two we
comes
know
Zilla and Zed.
battling last week, but Silverside Boy doesn't fight it at all. He just lets him go through.
Yeah. But I think that was safety. His group does get a 5-second penalty going into the pits, and we've got everybody from group down at the moment,
sent you an
apart from
invite, Pines. So hopefully he's getting them. Sent you an invite.
I just want to ask very quickly as well, because I know it was a bit hit and miss last week when I was streaming. Is the stream alright for everybody in the chat? Can you there's no breakups or anything like that? So if you can let us know, please, that would be fantastic. Go.
So yeah, these two at the front then, we saw the great battle they had on the last lap last week, and it's looking like it's going to be another one for now anyway. Rise has rejoined, so that's good. The stream is fine, says Cruiser Locker, so we're all in the clear there.
Fantastic. Thank you very much, Cruiser, and thank you very much for crashing on Wednesday.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Lolface thinks that Pines' Xbox might be overheating. Junie Vane's now left the session. Here comes Gary though on Revenzilla. He's not going to go for it this time though.
No. And these two sort of squabbling here and there has allowed actually Yorkie on his 4-lap old mediums to get within DRS of him, at least within DRS of Silverside Boy as well. We've got, looking a little bit further down, we've got TJM on the back of Tiddlywink that will be for P6.
Oh yeah, just realised Junie Vane crashed. I've just re-invited him. Sorry mate.
Rubbing salt in the wound.
Well, look who's now caught up though. Yorkie on those fresh mediums. He's right in amongst these two now at the front. He was 3 seconds behind when the safety car pulled in, and he's now 3 tenths within Silverside Boy. And Silverside Boy is going to want to keep with Zilla until that DRS comes back into play. It was a bit wide there, Silverside Boy. Yeah. Surely that's going to be a warning.
Potentially could be. We've got one more lap with no DRS.
Oh, I think Gary's got DRS right now. He's going to have a go at Zilla.
Must have missed that when it come up. I do apologise. All for the main ones. Yeah, they look a bit sort of tentative / edgy making the move, which is always Silverside Boy. I'm watching him from Yorkie's point of view. Does have a little bit of a moment through that chicane.
Yeah, I mean, at the moment now, 12 laps gone. Zilla's tyres are going to be better now than Silverside Boys. They're going to have they're really better condition, have more grip. As really, you take these mediums in a good state up to about lap 13, lap 14, so they start going off. TJ picks up a time set penalty there as well, but it's interesting that TJ and Tiddlywink technically at the moment net first and second once everyone else is pitted.
Yeah. Oh, was there a little bit of contact there between Yorkie and Silverside, but they did get very close. So now I think Zilla's going to have a job on his hands to defend this down into turn 1. Yeah, Silverside Boy does get alongside, does get the move done before the braking zone.
Oh! And that is...
Ooh.
I caught that on board of Zilla. And, yeah, that... Well, I'll let someone clip that in and we'll probably see who was at fault for that, but yeah.
Yeah, we'll stay off that one.
Right, well, Silverside Boy will be really annoyed with that. Down to 7th place he is now, and I assume he will just get into the pits now, maybe, and, well, unless he wants to try and stick it out for a set of softs at the end. But Yorkie now will be obviously trying to get past, but it's still looking good at the moment for Tiddlywink and TJ.
Yeah, who obviously now due to that little incident at the first chicane now getting set. Both do have time penalties though, so they're going to be battling up each other all through the race. It will be for what you said, is that now net P1.
So yeah, DRS will be enabled for Yorkie. Is it going to open? That's going to open, it's just not gaining too much.
Silverside Boy gets a 5-second penalty, speeding pit lane.
Yeah, well, he's clearly annoyed with what's just happened on the lap before, but he's got some wing damage as well, it looks like, from that incident. Don't know how he's managed that, but he does come out on a set of hard, so yeah, he will go to the end now. If there's another safety car, he could still be in this race. But yeah, not where he wanted to be from where he was a lap ago. Zilla still leads on 14 lap old hards, and I think probably we'll be looking to take these to around lap 22, 23.
Yeah, I think what's going to notice as well is Sergeant Randenoff has actually got in within the DRS of Yorkie in front of him as well.
Yeah, Pines is left again. Well, I think he gets one more chance to join, and if he leaves again, then we might just have to leave it, because he should not be disconnecting 3 times.
Well, as we got Yorkie, got the DRS open, is he looking to make a move down into turn 1? No, but they are still fairly close to these top 3.
Yeah, Yorkie's got to make a move soon. Surely he can get close enough. But the thing is, the more he waits, the mediums are slowly they're getting towards their sort of peak performance now. And even at 15 lap old hards, I think Zilla here could still have the advantage. And okay, I apologise. Apparently, it's not his internet. His Xbox keeps turning up.
Wow.
All I would say is, Pines, have you got a gap underneath the power brick? Like, have you got like some ventilation under there? Because if you've just got that sat on a surface, that's going to have no air getting under it whatsoever. So sort it out, lad. Because come on, you're still technically in with chances some points here. Oh, Yorkie's gone wide.
Oh, and that's allowed running off to close in. Well, both got DRS. They are side by side. Oh, please. Oh! Oh! Where are they? They're there. Woo! That looked a bit too close to comfort. But it has allowed Zilla to pull away slightly from these.
Yeah. He's got out of the DRS range now at 1.1 seconds. So Zilla will be loving that. Sargent had a great move down into the first corner. That was a brilliant move from him. Yeah, I mean, 15 laps to go. It stays like this. Tiddlywink can make those tyres last. Then how many penalties has he got? He has only got 3 seconds at the moment. So the gap between him and Zilla is 4.7 seconds. So he should have about at least a 15-second lead. It all depends on how quickly Zilla can gain back that time if there is no safety cars in the latter stages of this race.
Which hopefully there won't be. But yeah, like you say, he's still in a strong position, Tiddlywink, and possibly TJ as well. I know he has dropped off the back of Tiddlywink slightly. As midfield maestro pits from his softs, should be going on a set of hards to the end now, and he hasn't. He's gone on to a set of mediums.
Yeah, well, you can make that last 14 laps. You should be fine with that if they're new tyres. So, all depends if they're new though. And Pines has joined again. They are new tyres, so he should be fine till the end.
Lovely stuff. It's now running off. Has actually got back within the DRS of Zilla.
Yeah, definitely a very good. He's come back from the 1.1 seconds, now down to 6/10 again. And I remember 2 seasons ago, these two had a good battle towards the end of this. When we came to Imola at the end of season 2, it was Zilla and Rananoff having a good battle, and it looks like at the moment it's that situation again. When does Zilla decide to pit? That is the question.
That is the question that probably Rananoff and Yorkie behind him are wondering as well. Because obviously we've had a safety car that will have allowed him to extend his stint by a few laps at least. So could potentially see Zilla here drag out those hards and go on to a set of softs towards the end.
I think that's his plan, and if that is what he's planning, then he should hone in on those hard runners very, very quickly.
Yep.
Midfield maestro as well at the moment is behind a leader 31, so yeah, he's a bit too far back to be in contention. Zilla Piggle in the chat seems to say that it's straight line speed that is winning this race for him. I'm just going to have a look at the straight line speed now that he said that.
I mean, to be fair, we did sort of see somewhat similar, if you remember, last week at Australia with Zilla. Or was it Biddle? It was one of the two.
Yeah, no, the setup of their wings sort of saved them from getting overtaken in the DRS zones. Yeah, I think it was Biddle. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, straight line speed's all he needs to keep this lead. So he's got plenty of battery as well, especially compared to Sergeant Rananoff, who's actually out ZRS.
It's coming up now to back markers, and Rananoff will not like that, because Stiffmeister has got in between the two, and look at the gap now forming because of that, and he gets out of the way now, but it's up to 1.4.
Yeah, like you just said, Rananoff unfortunately allowed that back marker to get in between, and that probably would have put a smile on Zilla's face momentarily. Can now Rananoff get that gap back down and get back within the DRS of Zilla at the front.
Zilla comes on to then lap 20. Group is off the track, gets out of the way of these front pack. He's getting out of the way of basically everyone, which is the downside to getting lapped, because you literally have no chance really of getting anywhere near the person that's in front of you. Unfortunately, he's got himself 10 seconds there, which is very harsh in the game.
That is a bit harsh on the game. He's done the sensible thing, getting out of the way of everybody. But yeah, sods all, the game decides to give him a 10-second penalty, which is absolutely amazing.
Yeah, well, I think if he did clip that, if there was a safety car, he got right back up to the pack and he did clip that, we potentially would take that off. But at the moment, it's not going to matter for anything. He is P12, so no points for him as it stands, and he does retire from the session. Unfortunately for TPA Group. 11 then left in the race. Cross Kerry, the only one that is not in the points positions.
Yeah, and Running has actually got back within the DRS of Zilla fairly quickly, I'd say. Say within a lap at least.
Yeah, it was a yellow flag out. Oh, it's CPA's Groot's car coming up back onto the track, I think. But yeah, as you say, Locker, Sargent back within the DRS, but you know Zilla's still keeping the lead, and the gap to Tiddlywink is increasing. And that's really the only person he's got to worry about at this stage. Is Tiddlywink, and I think obviously TJ is in fifth. If you got anywhere near TJ would probably just let him through because they are teammates. But yeah, at the moment it's looking good for Zilla. He just got to hope there is no more safety cars, and it should be all right. And even if there was a safety car here, I think everyone would be pulling into the pits anyway. So Zilla is looking in prime position here. And if he wins from 11th, it'd be a great drive from himself.
Absolutely, yeah. Couldn't agree more. Obviously, might sound a little bit of bias in there with him being an Aston Martin, but honestly, it is not bias. I think he's actually he could have been in a McLaren for all I care, but he's actually run a fantastic race so far.
Yeah, definitely has. Midfield Maestro slightly brought the gap down to Zilla. It was at 31, it's now 28. But I still think Zilla, it doesn't take 28 seconds to have a pit stop round here, so he will still be behind him once he comes out. TPA Group, left the session. Zilla then comes down to the end of lap 22, and I think as Rai takes the fastest lap of an 18.2, he's got to come in now on the next lap, surely. It's going to be another lap.
It is going to be another lap. It's literally the closest on track battle at the moment is between these top two currently, as we've got Yorkie, who's decided to pit him behind these pair on his 15 lap old mediums. Now that's allowed TJ to jump up, and Yorkie's actually gone onto a set of softs. So could we potentially see Zilla in this lap to sort of cover off that same?
Yeah, well the softs are going to have about 5 laps, I'd say, of good quality good sort of like times that you'll be able to do on them. Once they get past that, they do tend to drop off quite quickly. It all depends on the tyre management. Zilla has surely got to pit this lap. Surely has to.
Yeah, and I've seen Yorkie as well. He has come out just behind midfield Maestro as well, which is sort of where you were looking if Zilla did pit. So potentially Zilla could come out either just in front or just behind them, from what you were saying a moment ago, a few laps ago.
Yeah, well, I think he would have seen Yorkie come in, so he knows that he'll have the advantage. Surely he's going to come in this lap. Yes, he does.
And he has. Right, let's jump on board with Yorkie just to see how close this will be.
And Rananoff follows him in as well. So then Tiddlywink now takes the lead of the Grand Prix. Is that Cross Kerry unlapping himself? I think it is. Cross Kerry is unlapped. Zilla, here comes Zilla. Midfield Maestro coming around my last corner then, along with Yorkie, who is going to come out in front. I think Zilla's got this just as Yorkie now overtakes midfield Maestro, and they're coming out the pit lane now, and they both are ahead. So they just about made it stick on that pit stop. And Locker, I don't know what's happened with the stream, if you've left or something. I'm seeing it in the chat. Please, someone tell me what has happened, because I have no idea. I'm just going to try and keep you updated with what's going on. Oh, his controller's died. Brilliant from Locker. God's sake. Right, okay, well, whatever. Let me just check the stream. What? Sorry about this. Who's it? No, we can't even see who's actually he's on. So no worries. I'll just keep you updated then, like a radio show of what's going on then. So Revenzilla comes out 1.1 seconds ahead of Yorkie, and Sergeant Ranoff now gets let through by his Alpine teammate. Midfield Maestro goes into fifth position, and he'll now try to hunt down those two in front of him with Yorkie and Zilla, but he has got that 3-second penalty. So as it stands then, the gap between Tiddlywink and Zilla is 16.7 seconds. Tiddlywink does have, though, that 3-second penalty, so we'll cut it down to 13 seconds. The question is, can Zilla gain 13 seconds in 7 laps? He's got to basically gain 2 seconds a lap for the whole duration now left of the race. Do you think he could do it within the first sort of, like I said already, 4 or 5 laps? But to do it, either that stage of the race is going to be difficult. And is that you back, my friend?
Yeah, I've just had to have a right scramble trying to find my way.
You are a fraud, aren't you? Bloody hell.
I know, if it's not my connection, it's my bloody pad.
I was just telling the viewers, Locker, we've got Zilla now 15 seconds behind, 12 seconds with the penalty that Tillywink's got. It's got 6 laps then to basically gain 2 seconds a lap. It's going to be very tight. Oh, Zilla! And he's got the 3-second penalty, which now means it is 15 seconds.
Oh, what have you done that for?
We're really cursing people tonight, aren't we?
We? I think it's just mainly being you, hasn't it?
Oh, you did say Pines is going to win.
Oops. Right then, we. Right, if I still catch my breath, I'm rushing round, bloody trying to find me bloody wire.
Well, I'm telling you now, the way it's going at the moment, Zilla isn't going to catch Tiddlywink at this rate. He might not even catch TJ at this rate either. He's still 9 seconds off his teammate. So, as it stands, still Tiddlywink taking the win, but we've still got 5 laps to go. But it's another great outing from these Aston Martin boys, 2nd and 3rd as we speak.
Yeah, absolutely brilliant. Obviously, I'm not trying to sound too biased, but yeah, both ran very, very good races at the moment. Silverside Boy does pick up a 3-second time penalty. Obviously, now down in 8th, what was looking like a strong race from Silverside Boy. Unfortunately, had that incident earlier on in the race, and sadly back there in P8.
Yeah, unlucky for him. Down in 8th before that collision with Zilla earlier on. Yorkie and Rananoff now having a battle, but Rananoff has got that penalty to his name, 9 seconds actually, I've just realised, so there's no chance really at the moment that he's even going to gain anything on Yorkie in front of him, even if he does get past. 13 seconds, he's not gaining nowhere near enough, and he's gone off the track there, Zilla. Unfortunately, doesn't like the strategy has worked on this occasion.
No, unfortunately not, and with you saying John on the track, I think that's a case of Zilla pushing that little bit too much. Obviously we've got Yorkie behind him as well, on similar tyre age, without the penalty as well, so whether he's just a case of Zilla unfortunately pushing a bit too hard to try and bridge that gap between himself and Yorkie.
Yeah, I think there's a yellow flag out, and I think it is Cross Kerry or Stiffmeister? I think, yeah, Cross Kerry's took a spin, so he is now lapped again. He will be hoping, obviously, for someone to crash out so he can get a point.
Yeah, unlap himself, but we've got about 4 or 5 laps to go. That'll be a good time to pop over to the penalty situation, as the top 3 currently all on 3 seconds. So we've got Tiddlywink, TJ and Zilla all on 3 seconds. We've got Yorkie, who's looking in a strong position as long as he's keep that gap under that 3 second mark. 2 Zella's on course for a podium. We've got Rananoff behind, unfortunately, on them 9 seconds of penalties. And then it's just Silver Boy on the 8 seconds. So not too many penalties from the guys who are still racing, which is good to see.
Yep, not too many from the lads tonight. Got the odd person that's got quite, over 3, but apart from that, it's not too bad. Tiddlywink then still out in front, slightly pulling the gap as well, still to TJ. He just needs to do 3.5 more laps, and he will be today's race winner. As Yorkie and Rananoff having another battle.
Yeah, coming down the pit straight, Rananoff did get a punch of Yorkie, but I think Rananoff did have a moment going through them chicanes and allowed Yorkie to pinch that position back.
Yeah, looks. I mean, the thing is, Rananoff can fight all he likes, but unless Yorkie makes a mistake, he ain't going to keep that P4. He will drop further down, and he'll either drop behind his teammate midfield Maestro, because he's only 4.3 seconds behind, and he's got no penalties. So he will drop behind him as well. Tiddlywink comes on to lap 30, or just about to anyway. 7.3 seconds now to TJ, and yeah, I don't think now we're going to get a safety car, whatever happens. So all he's now got to do is keep it on the track, and he will take his first FPRL win.
Yep. Interesting, what I've been noticing as well while I've been on board with other people is Zilla is increasing that gap to the pair of Yorkie and Rananoff. It's now 2.6 crucially for him.
Yeah, so with Sargent and Yorkie battling, he could still claim P3 at the moment. Yeah, 2.8 now. It's almost as if Yorkie's tyres have just kind of fallen off a cliff. Now down there, now 2.9. So Zilla definitely got the better tyres as it stands. Yorkie's are a lap older, but yeah, it's definitely looking like at the moment that Zilla's going to take third. He could even take second here. He's only now 2 seconds behind his teammate TJ, 2.7 seconds.
Yeah, it'd be interesting. Always, Yorkie does go a little bit wide. That allows Rananoff to get through. And because of that little slight off, that's now got the gap up to, well, it did temporarily, over 3 seconds. As yeah, like we were just both saying, the more these pair fight, the more chance it's going to give Zilla of increasing that gap behind him.
Crosskerry's re-overtaking TJ. Rise also comes out in front of Zilla. Now, how's he going to impede him here? Hopefully not too much. Zilla now 1.8 behind his teammate. Now, who is going to take second place here? That is the question. He really has caught up to him in these last few stages. Whoever gets second or third, it will still be the same amount of points for Aston Martin.
Yep.
TJ looks as if those hard tyres have gone the distance now. Those 23 laps old now.
Yeah, but more importantly, who's going to get this last podium? Is that gap between third and fourth does keep going either side of 3 seconds.
Yeah, well, it will be Zilla still. Obviously, Sargent's got 9 seconds, so the gap we're looking for is Zilla and Yorkie, which currently stands at 3.9. So Zilla's going to have to make a mistake, or Yorkie's going to have a blistering last lap to get on the podium now. Or, potentially, Zilla makes another mistake and gets another penalty. So we come on to the final lap then, Tiddlywink leading. All he's got to do is one more lap and he will be the winner.
Yeah, and like you've just covered, will be his first race win in FPRL. Now, what are these Aston Martin boys going to do? Do not fight, please. Zilla, stay there. Sorry.
Well, they'd be mad to fight now, you know, if they'll be throwing all their points away if they do. Just got a whole station now, but what Zilla will be wondering, he won't want TJ to go too slow, because obviously Yorkie is behind, but it's 4.1, so it's looking like it should be fine at the moment. Tiddlywink just got half a lap to go then until he is an FPRL winner. And I have to say, Locker, I don't think we expected him to win today, but it looks like that's going to be the case.
No, like we've heard, I've obviously heard somebody saying I will win, but no, I didn't pick. Didn't think Tiddlywink, was going to win this race. He comes around the last couple of corners now, as Yorkie does in fact pick up that 3-second time penalty. And we've got Yorkie. He's actually doing a cheeky little weave. Ground line does take the flag, and that is Tiddlywink does take the win. First race win in FPRL. Absolutely phenomenal driver. It was in fact TJ who took the P2 out of the two Aston Martins. Zilla does keep the podium, and then we've got Yorkie coming across the line in P4. Midfield Maestro takes 5th, running off 6th. And it will be Silverside Boy 7th, Pines 8th, and Stiff Master 9th, Crosscurry 10th, and unfortunately a lap down. Also the case of Rise in P11, who picks up the wooden spoon, unfortunately.
Well, yeah, a big well done to Tiddlywink. I don't think, like I said, no one would have really said that he was going to win today, but he has shown some fantastic pace all week in TTs, in practice races, and it's been a thoroughly deserved win from him today. He'll be really, really happy with that. Like you say, TJ and Zilla were fighting a little bit towards the end, the last few corners, but I don't think it was really worth throwing away all their points. So, yeah, another great finish for the Aston Martin boys that puts them probably even further up in the constructors, overall constructors. So well done to them. And I'm just going to get the 3 podium sitters into the party, hopefully.
Yeah, brilliant. As I will run down the races while you do that. So yeah, like we said, Tiddlywink and his AlphaTauri taking his first FPL race win from 4th on the grid, and then finished rounding off the podium. We've got TJM and Revenge Zilla of the Aston Martin crew. Yorkie, strong race from him also from 3-9, finishing P4. Then we've got Midfield Maestro, Sergeant running off, Silverside Boy, Pines, Stiff Master and Crosscurry finishing off the points. Wow. And then we've got P11 Rise, and then unfortunately we've got Groot, Phenom, Juno Vane and Bawley all retiring.
Tiddlywink, just do me a favour, mate, just turn your volume down a bit.
Wow.
That's really coming through loud.
That
He's
is
not
coming
listening
through
to me.
handsome. Tiddlywink. Tiddlywink. Can you turn it down a little bit, my friend, please?
Open the room now.
That's better. Don't forget to include your audio, please, mate. And then, yeah, so have we got everybody in who needs to be? No, we have.
They are now. All 3 of them are in. The podium sitters. How do you want to do this, Locker? I'll let you decide as your main comms.
I'll let you take 3rd and the race winner, mate, and I'll take P2.
Okay, mate. No worries. That echo is really annoying me, I'm not going to lie.
Yeah, it's mine. I can't do it.
Okay, well, we'll start with P3 then. Obviously, is Revenge Zilla. Make sure you include your audio, Mike. Maybe probably already have. But yeah, another great race for yourself. P3 from P11 on the grid. So yeah, a definite great race. Gained 8 places. I just want to ask you straight up, do you think you're going to keep that 3rd place?
I was like fucking Prime Parsons, mate.
Do you think you maybe potentially missed a breaking point, or did you think it was a bit early on the brakes
Well,
from the person in front of you?
I use the same braking point I normally did. I mean, personally, I think he was early on the brakes, but it's kind of hard to prove that, and I don't have a clip, so I'm not really fussed. Obviously, I've apologised to Gary already. I wouldn't ever intentionally take him out. It's just one of them ones where both people have two different braking zones because they're making an overtake into the corner, so just unlucky.
Yeah, well, fair enough. Obviously, quali didn't really go your way. Would you hoping to have another run late on? Was there an invalidation for you? Because obviously P11, I think you would have been hoping to be a bit further up on the grid.
Yeah, well, Gary told me that the delta was coming down to inters, so I came in the box to put inters on, came in, and it said the delta was plus 3 seconds, so I was like, cheers, mate. So came back out and only got one flying lap and invalidated
Oh,
it,
right. So that's why that's why you hit him off then.
Exactly. I think that's fair enough. If the stewards bear that in mind, I reckon that's fair enough.
Well, I mean, yeah, the hard stint was kind of working for you early on. You were the highest of the hard runners at the start. Obviously, safety car came in. Were you, after you came in for softs, did you think you'd potentially gain a bit more on the two in front of you a bit quicker? Because I think we've all thought that you'd be gaining at a bit more of a pace to Tiddlywink.
I don't know. I think it was like 1.5, 2 seconds a lap. And bearing in mind how good of a race tyre the hards are, like the softs are bad. They're really not very good for any longer than 5 laps.
Yeah, that's what we were saying.
And when I was on 22 lap hards, I was setting fastest lap after fastest lap every lap. So they're really good race tyre.
Yeah, well, I mean, obviously, still a P3 at the moment anyway, so you must be pleased with that. Move on next week to Miami. Firstly, will you be racing there? And if you are, how would you rate your chances around the street circuit?
No, I'm not racing, and I'd just like to say I think TJM may be top of the championship after that.
I believe you are correct.
I've got a feeling that TJM 1992, Mr. Nearly got dropped down to tier 3, is now top of the standings.
Didn't we say tier 2 ends tonight?
Yeah, tier 2's ended, mate. Get on to the title. Scotsman, get the fucking medals ordered.
So I'm not too sure I can say yes to that. I'm pretty sure it was 10 points behind you.
Yeah, he is 10 points behind me, but no, my luck, I'll end up getting a race ban for that one. And TJ, public enemy number 1, fucking, I'll get a race ban. TJM's top of the championship. Jobs are good enough, the Aston Martin.
Indeed.
It's certainly a good result for yourself. And yeah, obviously, your teammate, Aston Martin, another great result tonight. So well done. Locker, I'll let you interview our other Aston Martin man.
Thank you very much, and well done, Zilla, on your P3, my friend. Yeah, moving on to our P2 man. Hello, Tidjum.
Mr. Lockett.
How are we, my friend?
Oh, I mean, I'm buzzing, man.
I bet you're... We've done this the other way around, mate. You've interviewed me a couple of times, but I think this is the first time I've got a chance to interview you, is it?
Yeah, I mean, my podiums were lacking last season, so yeah, I think it's the first time you've actually interviewed me.
I mean, you normally abandon comms last minute, Locker, so you don't normally get to see these things.
On. Move on, you've had your chance, go away. But no, obviously, I know, and probably a couple of us know, you've had a little bit of time off, mate, so obviously coming back onto the game tonight, seeing that it's a wet quali, how did that feel for yourself, if we start with your quali?
Yeah, quali. Obviously, I've done no practice this week on the track, dry or wet. Did a little bit before the race, a little bit wet, luckily. So I knew what I was in for. But I couldn't hook the lap up. There was one lap I was 8 tenths up going into sector 2, and then unfortunately Silverside Boy was in front of me, and was on the racing line, not on a lap, and I had to abandon the lap and couldn't pull it back in.
Tut, tut, tut.
Yeah. So I mean, starting P11, I wasn't too fussed, but yeah, I definitely feel like I could have been in that top 10 if I got that lap in.
Yeah. And then obviously going on to the race, obviously starting P11. I mean, was it a steady enough race for you? Obviously, you got looks like obviously the strategy worked to get you that P2. I mean, did you have in the back of your mind? Was it a case of you might have hoped for a couple of safety cars or hoped not? I do like to ask this from time to time.
I was hoping for one safety car. So on my very start, going through sector 1 or 2, I think it was. I think TPA Groove had a really good launch for one of the corners, and there was a little bit of contact between us. I think it was more of a racing incident than anything, and I dropped back of the grid. So yeah, I had to get my head straight. I was hoping for a safety car then, and the safety car come out and I put the hard tyres on. And I knew it was going to be a long stint, but it was just about keeping the head down and keeping it clean from that point onwards.
Exactly, yep, like you just said, obviously you pitted under that first safety car, took those hard tyres to the end, kept your head down, and deservedly, I think, my friend, you got yourself a cheeky P2, so very congratulations on that, my friend, and I'll move on to Yorkie, who can interview our race winner, who, as I'm sure, is ready and eager to get the interview done. Well done, TJ.
Hold on. Who's Yorkie?
I was going to say, you just referenced Monkey Boy's Yorkie.
Oh, okay. Monkey Boy, Yorkie, whatever.
Yeah, a few too many beers, mate, I think. Bloody hell. Right. Well then, yeah, well done, Tidjum, on the P2. I have to say, great result, considering no practice. Very well done. I am then coming now to our race winner. It was Tiddlewink today, and I have to say, a bit of a surprise winner, if you don't mind me saying. But you've had the pace all week in the practice, and you've been quite good on the TT around here. How does it feel to take your first FPRL win?
To be honest, I didn't really expect it.
Cyrus Underwood, you muted, mate.
Just include your audio, buddy.
It is included in everything.
And unmute your mic.
Hello.
Hello.
Yeah, just a bit quiet, my friend. If you can get a bit close to the mic.
Yeah, I'm right next to it. I've not used the mic in ages.
Yeah.
Oh.
But yeah, how does it feel
Is
to
that
have your first FPR? How does it feel to have your first FPRL win? Must be great.
Yeah, I'm buzzing. But, I
mean,
didn't expect it to be.
Yeah, I was going to say, did you expect to be right up there today?
Well, I felt like I had pace in the wet, but I don't know if you saw, but I was struggling throughout the race. I kept on slipping. It really put like a strain on my tyre wear, so I was kind of getting a bit nervous. So I was in punch territory at the end as well. That's why I was dropping pace so bad. But
yeah, we did see you battling with your teammate Yorkie early on. I see what you meant there with the sliding of the rears. So yeah, finding it a bit hard to get the grip, but in the end, it's paid off with the strategy that you've taken. Were you tempted? I mean, when you say you were coming towards puncher territory, can you tell us how far the tyres were gone in terms of percentage?
yeah, 75% at the end, around that area, I think. So
okay, so yeah, a few more laps
Yeah.
it would have gone then, yeah.
yeah, I could see Zilla pulling up on TGM, but I realised that I dropped TGM 7 seconds coming out of the pit. So I was like, I should be alright. But as soon as them tyres started to go off, I tried to leave it off a bit, so I started dropping second a lap to Zilla. But yeah, I felt pretty confident towards the end that I was going to get it. I was just trying to keep on track.
Yeah, well, obviously, once again, well done on the win today. It's a great result for yourself. First FPRL win, always a great thing to achieve. Next week, like I've said to Zilla already, we head to Miami. If you are racing next week, how do you fancy your chances around there?
Well, I think I'm quite strong at Miami, but it seems to me like I'm trying to beat Pines at every single track, but he's the man to beat at the moment on time trial. He's just rapid. There's no way he should be tier 2, but I mean, definitely tier one for next season. I think Rapid, but I've just been focusing on trying to be faster than Pines because that put me a pretty good step if I want to just be consistent throughout the race. So yeah, I
Yeah.
feel alright at Miami. I felt comfortable start of since the track came out.
Okay, yeah, well, it's obviously a good target to beat Pines. We all know that he's very, very, very quick in time trial and quali. So, yeah, hopefully you have a good race next week. Well done once again on the race win today. And another 25 points for AlphaTauri as well. Locker, anything to add on that?
No. Obviously, I know exactly what you're feeling. Your first win, Tiddlywink. So, many congratulations, my friend, and enjoy it.
Thank you.
No problem.
And I think I've just got to do my driver of the day, I believe.
I was getting there.
Give it Phenom.
Give it to Phenom. I'm afraid I cannot do that this week. He's going to have a good race in order for me to do that. But I do have to simply hand it to him. Well, mainly for the reason that he's had no practice whatsoever this week, and he's come back straight in and got P2 from where he started on the grid as well. TJ, you are my driver of the day today.
Yeah, boy.
You're just sucking his arse now, aren't you? It's like 3 weeks in a row.
Oh, the Stokey.
Off the TJ. No, thanks for that, mate. Yeah, it feels good to be back and hitting the ground running again. And you never know. At the moment, I'm battling for the championship here.
You
All right, calm down, mate.
Take your teammate with you, my friend.
No, like seriously, I've just been thinking about it. The amount of points I've got now is what I finished on the whole of season 3 with. So I've already done better than last season.
That's good, lad. Good lad. Right then. So yeah, phenomenal race from our T2 drivers around Imola. And I believe we are back on Sunday for our F2 race around, let me just get the track up. It is Sandvoort this week for F2 race. Not quite sure who is on comms. But yeah, thank you very much for tuning in, and hopefully see you all on Sunday. Goodbye.